Good morning, YouTube. My name's Emery, and I lost my camera. I found it. It was in the barn. And I haven't been able to show you what I was doing this morning, but looking at cotton that I sprayed to see what to do. And so the consensus is I don't really know exactly what the right thing to do. But it is still working. It's been 10 days or 11 days today, Monday, November 3rd. And so it's ready for a kill shot. Most of it. The one, I've got 2 full fields finished, sprayed, and then part of another field. The 2 fields I have finished completely. Those were the most ready. That's why I sprayed them. They're ready for a kill shot. I'm thinking I'm going to do that Wednesday, give it a full 14 days, and make sure the bowls are opened. It's going to be really warm this week, so that should help. The 3rd field, I did about 100 acres there of 150 or so. It was greener when I sprayed it, but it's over where I was spraying. So instead of moving the equipment all the back and forth, I just went ahead and sprayed it. And it's still got some green bowls that aren't popping yet. What I've been told, should be able to squeeze them and they pop easy, or starting to smile already. Then they would open on their own, but they're still not doing that yet. So I'm going to hold off on the kill shot on that. I think maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens over the next couple days. But then I think I need to go ahead and spray a little bit more. If it's going to be 2 weeks to even till I can kill shot, and so we're over 2 weeks to start stripping, I need to stay ahead. And so I think I'm going to spray a couple more loads, and that would get me all the farms on the east side, like the east farms, all done all together, at least the first shot. And so hopefully I can keep rolling and not have to wait. There's no freeze coming in the forecast. We had a chance for a frost, didn't quite get it. So I'm just gonna have to spray and stay ahead and not do too much, but that'll get me going. Hopefully, I will have to unhook the tractor from the sprayer to hook to the builder and then go back if I have to keep spraying. But my wife tells me I need to change my perspective and my attitude on that. So it's just part of what I gotta do. But today, my goal is, Dad and I worked on his stripper, but today the goal is to get the strippers completely finished. They are real close. This weekend, Dad and I finished, I don't know, you can't see it, but back here, there's a water pump right there. This is anyways, we replaced that. Thermostat's on the other side. It wasn't too bad. Had to take quite a bit of stuff apart on the air conditioner side, but got it put together and no leaks after we ran it. But so that was a big job that was left to be done. But all I have left is I need to change the oil on gearbox of Dad's that's leaking and clean it up, check oil level on the final drives and the transmission, air the tires, grease everything, and adjust Dad's needs the doffer brushes replaced and adjust the brushes in the cleaner. And then this, I need to do some spray foam in here because that was sucking in dirt and making his radiator dirty. So I'm gonna do that. That maybe sounds like a lot, but it shouldn't take me that long to do. On my stripper, I'm about to go recalibrate the header because the battery's been turned off. I gotta adjust the brushes on it. Don't need to replace any in the cleaner, but just to adjust them. Check the final drive and the transmission oil levels there. Grease everything, tires, and it is done. So it is closer than this one, but both shouldn't take long. That's my goal, is to get them both done today. And then the other thing, still waiting on the cylinder from Dad's builder to get called back from Albion Hydraulics. Hopefully I'll hear from them today that's ready. On my builder, need to get some hoses off. So when I go to Albion, I can get hoses made. The top hoses were cracking pretty good from being in the sun and age. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace those. And it hopefully should be pretty easy. There's a pipe we gotta replace that was kind of wearing, but we'll do that when I put the new hoses on. Gotta cut it to length and thread that iron pipe. I'll show you. But as I'm talking, it sure seems like a lot, which means it'll probably take longer than I realized, but I'm gonna be optimistic here. And then Dad's got a little bit of scraping he's gonna finish for me on my farm that he didn't get done before the rain. so I can get the scraper unhooked. I'm gonna hook back up to the disc because the land that Emily's parents bought has some stuff I need to plow over there. It's really over there near the mountain. We call that Flat Top Mountain because the top is pretty flat. So I'm gonna go do that this week. And then we got the rain. I may need to do some more spraying. I may need to spray. I haven't looked at it yet, but I probably need to spray the new farms that I picked up that I was gonna plant. I've already disked and ran the field cultivator, but now there's probably some volunteer wheat coming up. I need to spray with Roundup. So that may be this week. So what I'm thinking, Wednesday, kill shot. Thursday, 2 more loads of defoliant. Friday, maybe that's when I spray the Roundup. So then maybe that makes sense. So then I can, after that, get the 8130 hooked back up to the builder, get it hooked to the builder, and start going over it a little better. I did get all the bats and brushes changed or adjusted on my stripper. I did Dad's a while back, but on mine I had to try to decide what I wanted to do because not every row runs all the time. And so what I ended up doing is I replaced all the bats and brushes on this row and this row and that row. So the outside rows and this row, no matter which direction I'm going in my pattern, are always stripping. So they were worn basically twice as much as the other ones. So they needed to be replaced. Everyone else is either, it's either this is the pair that's stripping and that's the skip, or this is the pair and that's the skip. So it's either one of those. Same for this. Either these pairs stripping and this is a skip, or that's a skip and those two are stripping. So anyways, that's what I decided to do on the ones that were either ors. I didn't see there's still a lot of life left on those. So I just adjusted those in just a little bit. And so left those on. They were in pretty good shape. Made sense to me. We'll see how they wear. Maybe subconsciously I did about 50-50 directional, which way I went. Maybe I need to be more conscious about it and do it ever so often, just change. Hey, I'm going to go put the single to the right, and this time I'm going to put the single to the left. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but that'll maybe make my wearing of bats and brushes go a little more consistent. Okay, enough of that. Let's see if I can do this by memory. So, anytime you disconnect the battery, you got to do a recalibration on the header. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. I'm gonna have to. So while I hold this button, I believe, I turn on the key. Yep, diagnostic. Okay, now I want to get into that is what I want. Oh, and I just keep pressing this button until I get to 30 on the top. This is diagnostic codes. I don't know anything about it other than I know I'm supposed to go to 30, and it doesn't go. It goes all the way to 26 and then goes to 30. I think 25 to 30. It's kind of cold in here. Okay, so I'm going to do the header calibration. This is going to determine the number of row units. Now, I'll show you. Okay, I have 7 row units. But I don't know if you remember last year, I had to basically splice in the harness is for 8 units. I don't have an 8 unit, but so I spliced it into 7 and tricking the system that I have 8 units, because when I turn this knob, that means I have 4 units. So as I turn this knob right here, it changes the number of row units. I have 4, 5 is an option, which works for dads. It goes to 6, and it goes to 8. So that was throwing us for a loop last year. Very confusing. Those 7, and that was the issue. So I'm tricking it. I'm saying I have 8. It had to have a reading from 8 to be able to make this work. So it just uses what 7's input is and makes it work. So that should give me. Okay. So now it took the 8. Now I'm looking for the lower limits of all of these. So I turn all of these knobs down to the low limit. That's the height sensor adjustment. I press good. Now I go to the highest setting. So this is all just electrical sensors telling the system the low and the highest setting of these individual row units. End of calibration. No errors. E00, 8 row units. End. That's what we wanted to see. Okay, so I turn it off. I'm going to go ahead and turn these back to kind of halfway, which is probably where they'll run. This changes their sensitivity to movement in the, heights of the individual row units. And this is the sensitivity. I want that down pretty low. I don't want it. If it's real sensitive, it'll move a lot. Okay. That's number one. Okay, now the same thing. Press and hold. Do a different calibration. Alright. So now going to 31. Header calibration. Okay, so now I go all the way down to where those sensor shoes on the bottom are touching, which is where they should be right now. I press enter or fan, so now I've got to get them off the ground so those shoes are not touching the ground. So those sensor shoes have been all the way pressed, now they're all the way depressed. That is the up. End of calibration. No errors. That's what I wanted. That should be it. Alright, last thing, just to double check, make sure everything works as it should. Oh, I gotta remember how to do this. There's a service interval code that pops up every 50 hours, I think. So I couldn't remember how to clear it, but it's the diagonal like that. All right, each unit, when I press these buttons, should work. Huh. Why would those not work? Oh, I gotta reset that. That's it. Gotta do this. Yeah, I'll get it down. Gotta do that every time before you start. Now, there we go. Number 1, number 2, number 3. If you see something in the field, you can raise these up and down. There's 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. Doesn't exist. Perfect. Okay. Whew, I was thinking, what did I do wrong? Nothing is the answer. Alright. That is good. Alright, I got that better. I believe tighter, but not too tight. You don't want to wear those brushes out too soon. This, I just learned how to remember all this stuff, but this one's easy to get to, but the top one is tied to this tensioner bolt and spring that tensions this belt here. So you actually have to flip this down and it's back. There's the bolt right there. So while we're here, here's what happens to the cotton. Cotton comes through the units and it comes down into these beater bars. These spin and just kind of break it up so it's not in clumps. And then it gets caught by the saws. The lint does. And as it gets around, gets caught on these saws, which is going this way actually. Yeah, it brushes against this. It keeps the lint on the saws, and it hits those burrs against these bars, these grid bars. And so the bars will hopefully just fall down and come out to the bottom and auger it off to the side. So the lint gets caught off, and then it goes again off of, it gets hit another chance to get clean on this saw. And on the back side, there's another brush roll called the doffer, and that's what brushes the cotton off and gets sucked back on the back side of all this and gets thrown into the basket. So 2 saws, cleaners, these brushes and bars, everything's just trying to get the lint to separate from the burrs. So the burrs can fall down and be augered off on mine either side. Dad just has an auger on one side, or auger sends it all to one side. All right, this top brush I think is the fire brush, and it should be just touching those saws teeth, and it is not. You can't, I don't know if you can tell that very good. So I need to adjust these 2 bolts on both sides, and looks like if I move that down, that'll probably be the ticket on that. And then I'll need to be under here, this brush, it's got a little life left in it. Not a ton, but I think it's still good. That brush, and there's a brush behind it. I think I just need a little bit of adjustment on those. All right, this one I showed you I adjusted. There's this one here that's harder to get. It's easy to adjust, but it's harder to get to. You have to take out this one. I got that one adjusted. It's gonna be the first one to go, I'm afraid, but still got some life. To get to this one back, that backside one, you gotta take this off. So that'll be in the season. All right, I'm gonna leave this open so I can grease the bearings on both sides. I gotta get up in the basket to grease the vanes. But yeah, I'm just gonna leave this open for now. All right, let's go on to Dad's stripper and get that done so that the brushes will be adjusted. Took me longer than it should have. It's just been a year since I've done it, you know? All right, same thing here, just a little bit of adjustment on this brush. That back brush looks okay. This one is gonna wear out probably soonest, but I think it's okay for now. So, all right, now I'm going to probably back this stripper out so I can get back behind and work on those doffer brushes. You gotta lock this cylinder. That keeps from getting killed. It's an important step. Okay, come loose. Those are my doffer brushes. I don't know, let's see. Maybe I can leave this one latched so it's not in the way. Alright, this and this. Alright. I need hands. I'm trying to catch these hands. Alright, that lets me get to this there's the Doffer brushes. Okay, so these are worn pretty good. So I'm gonna blow each of these out, and then you just take these four nuts off, and this bar comes out, and set the new brush in there. There's 12 of them. So let's do that. Let me blow it out first. And then just take these out and don't lose them. Like that. Should just come out. I didn't bring a hammer, of course. So this hammer golly. This little bristle's got it underneath my fingernail. That didn't feel good. Here's an old one. Let me grab a new one. Didn't think this through very good. I'll be back. Alright, so here's an old one, here's a new one. See some differences? These notches that get cut out. Thickness wise, you can see how much I've lost off of it. I don't know, some people may run those a little longer, but this side looks worse. This is actually parts that contacts the saw more, but all those saw, see it's worse down there. So I'm going to replace. Last one, I ended up getting a pretty good rhythm going on these. Last hiccup was that I had taken one out of the bundle to compare them to the other set I bought for my stripper for when it needs it, which I'm not really sure how. I think these brushes last longer than the others. I don't remember changing these very often growing up. It's the first time I've changed them since I've been back. They definitely come in a lot more contact. Which Dad said One year he didn't realize there was a difference, and he got some, they were 2-inch wide, and he said that sure enough made a loud racket. That's contacting a heck of a lot more, but I don't see any way to push them down anymore. So that just must be how new brushes contact, just barely, or just barely touch the base of the drum, because this is what's sweeping the cotton off and throwing it into this air, and then that's what goes up in the basket. So, all right, I am done with that job. There shouldn't be anything else to do back here. I have to get in the basket, which is not as much fun. Let's see if I can open this without, it's kind of hard to open. Oh. Okay, it's full still. I didn't know if it may have sucked down some, but it's full. All right, on to the next. Unlock this cylinder. It's not the afternoon, it's the next day. Things didn't get crazy yesterday. I just got busy. What did I do after lunch? Oh, I went home and I fought with my insurance, home insurance. Allstate, not been super impressed so far since we've lived in this house. We had damage in June. So someone from Allstate's watching, give me a call because I'm having a bad experience. Bought the house in March, had a real bad storm in June, peeled up a ton of metal on my barn, and now it's November, still waiting on resolution. Basically, they keep not wanting to pay, and it's like my claims adjuster wants to fight me and argue with me. It's like, I thought shouldn't we be on the same team here? But maybe that's old school, to think that the insurance company would actually be we'd be on the same team here. But so had to get it, had a contractor write me an estimate to fix it. They didn't like it. They sent out their own inspector. He found more damage, and now to the house roof. Gonna make the claim more expensive, but then the estimate didn't include fixing the roof for some reason. So it's still, and they raised our deductibles up to 2%. And they're trying to depreciate the costs, and I should have full replacement costs. It's been a lot, and so that's what I dealt with yesterday, amongst other things. Got some chemical, get a game plan for what I'm going to do this week. Got a call that my cylinder for the module builder is ready, so, or will be ready this morning. They got it torn apart. It looks good, just needs seals. So when I go to get that, hopefully this afternoon, I need to take off some hoses off the other builder that I need to get rebuilt, like new ones. And so that's what I'm working on now. Dad finished the scraping. He brought the tractor back for me. I just got it fueled up because I'm going to need it. I'm going to unhook the scraper. The problem that we just realized possibly is that I may need to, if I got to get inside to work, I need to lift the gate. And in order to lift the gate, I need to be able to hook up to the pump. And in order to hook up to the pump, I'm going to need the PTO adapter that's on the 8130, which is not here. So, but if I can just get the hoses from the above, then that's good. But there's a vertical pipe I need to replace also. I don't have to do that now. As long as when I do turn the pump on and the hoses are off, I can raise up the I can raise the gate without oil flowing out of those hose areas. So That's what we're gonna figure out here in a second. Holy moly, don't get me. Wasps love module builders. Is there one on me? I hope not. I guess I'll feel it in a minute if there is. But, okay. What I gotta do, see that vertical pipe? That's just regular, like black pipe, but it is wearing up there somewhere. I'll try to show you. Man, I wish I could pull this closer. Holy moly. Can't do that. Okay. Let's try to see what I need to do here. So I will need to get down there to loosen that at some point because we're going to replace that whole pipe. And then up here, this pipe, it rubs somewhere. I think it rubs right there where it's touching that rubber, but further down. So we adjusted that. It's better. But anyways, that's a job. But see this right here? That's what I want to replace. And then this one's not as bad. But once it gets up in the air, that and got more weight on it, it cracks a lot worse. So these hoses, especially this little one, I don't like that. I don't want to be messing with that. So these two hoses, so connections here and connections there. Dad's supposed to be bringing the other crescent wrench because I don't know if this one even opens up big enough. Oh, sweet. It does, it does, it does. Okay, that's good news. All right, let me get a game plan here. All right, I think I'm gonna break all these loose first. What I'm gonna do. This one's a little trickier. Because it might try to twist this whole pipe. So may need another wrench. I bet that's what's going to happen. Yep, turning this whole fitting here. Okay, gotta get another wrench for that, but should be able to do this one. Well, I have an idea. So I'm thinking I could crawl underneath there if I had to, if I could raise this up a little bit, which I will. So I'll raise the hitch up and the tires will raise up. I think I could get under there, possibly. I'm gonna try it, but also I'm gonna move it. I think I'm gonna move it closer. I'm gonna drive it around to the north side of the barn so it's closer to work on, I think. Convenient. So we're gonna give that a shot. So I'm gonna raise this up, get the blocks out of the way, see what we can get done here. Okay, so far so good. Blocks are done. To raise up the hitch just a little more. And then honestly, I may let the hitch down in the front, let me crawl in the back, because it'll raise that back up some. That's gonna work out great. I got the hitch down. I think I have it all the way down. Yeah. And I got the pins locked on this so it can't go down, and I can crawl in the back real easy to get to everything. So that's good. I can reach the bottom of that pipe and get those fittings loose. And now I can take the fittings loose up top and get those hoses undone. Well, sorry, I just got excited and didn't film it, but I got it off. It's actually really easy. It wasn't too much oil. Just let it hang over the edge. So that wasn't bad. All right, I'm gonna plug these up with some towels and this one. But this one's on that pipe. I'm gonna try to go ahead and take it off. Take these bolts loose, which I meant to grab a wrench and I didn't. Yeah, 9/16. All right, there's that. I saw a reel last night of a person changing a pump on a sprayer or something. They had these little these little rubber things. I don't know what they're like, cone shaped, and they fit in there tight when you're changing stuff like this. So I bought some. Excited to have that instead of having to use paper towels. Okay, good deal. Now I just need a 9/16 wrench. Well, going home for lunch. It was a productive morning. Got the tractor unhooked from the builder and hooked up to the disc. Builder's sitting back over there. I got the hoses off, and we went ahead and got that pipe taken off, and actually got the new one cut and rethreaded, so it's ready to put back together. Got all the fittings taken off. I was ready to go to Abilene, but got the call that the cylinder guys need to order a couple oddball seals, so they'll be in tomorrow. So everything's off and ready for me to go to town whenever. So that kind of stinks. I was kind of hoping that was going to be the day I was going to get that done today, since it's kind of windy to spray. But I guess I'm going to go plow is what I'm thinking this afternoon. Got to get the just check over the tires and grease a little bit and do some of that. But tomorrow's going to be a good day to do some spraying, and I need to kill shot some cotton, start defoliating some other, and then spray some Roundup on some wheat ground, like my neighbor up here. I'll show you in a second. Well, this is my cotton next to my wheat patch that's got some volunteer wheat coming in, and then right here it looks beautiful. That's all volunteer. He's already plowed that a couple times and nothing's come up, but now that we got some rain, it's all up. So that was probably a pretty good wheat before the hail. He ended up still cutting that like I did. I don't know what he made, but there was a lot on the ground, obviously. So got some volunteer wheat to spray. The timeline of all that, I'm not sure, because now I gotta go to Abilene in the middle of that. Today is Tuesday. I can't spray today, but I can plow. So I think that's what makes the most sense. And then the order of defoliating or kill shot, I don't think that matters necessarily, but it's just all got to be done. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but those are things I have to do. I'm about ready to go. Just wanted to show you. Got this pipe cut off. used this pipe cutter and then threaded it with this pipe threader. It's over there. Dad said that was his grandpa's, so that's pretty cool. I mean, it worked really, really good. Using to do like water, like windmills. They use galvanized pipe, so no flexible poly pipe. So you cut galvanized pipe to length and thread it, and so pretty neat to be able to use something that old, and it worked really good. All right, I'm greased and tires are good. Everything's ready to go. Let's go farm. All right, so there's the mountain, Flat Top Mountain. Sagerton's over that way. This is the property. This is like a 12-acre grass patch. I'm trying to decide what we're gonna do. I was gonna plow it. I got a buddy that's gonna look and see if he wants to cut it. I don't know if it's much enough there, but it doesn't really do me or Daryl any good. This little patch, I'm not sure how many acres it is. The guy was running cows. We don't have any cows, so you know, it doesn't do us any good. So I'm gonna disc this again. That probably will be ready to plant, and so I don't have to bring the field cultivator over here. I'd like to try to plow this and maybe plow it again with this disc to turn it under, see what it looks like. But the main field is the cotton that's up here. It's 130-ish acres. We're looking at the east boundary right over there next to that cotton. That's not this property's. It goes to the north, obviously that direction. And then all the grass down there to where, I don't know, you'll see it. So I'm gonna farm this for sure, this most likely, that big patch, most all of it, that strip between the fence and the trees, and then on that back corner, and Daryl's working over there now, grubbing some trees. It's been grubbed, but there's a middle section that still needs more. I don't really know how it's going for him down there. We'll go find out, but I'm gonna plow this 2 patches that have already been disked, and that should be ready for planting wheat. Unless it rains again, I'll have to spray it or something. I'm waiting to hear back on this, and then I'll go over there where Daryl's grubbing and plow what I can, because I'm gonna plant the stuff inside the fence that's a little bit smaller. I'm gonna keep that probably in wheat continuous, is my thinking. This stuff here right below the house, I'm gonna keep it on halves with that. So cut that field, that bottom half of this field with these 2 patches to be equal to the top north half, is what I'm thinking, is what I'm gonna try to do. So I gotta figure out where I'm going. I gotta get around this hot wire fence and get into this area right over here. And then we'll start farming. Well, just want to show you what it's doing. It's you know, it's pretty cloudy, and here it's busting those clouds up pretty good. There's a little bit of a kind of a divot where the 2 different gangs, the wing and the main frame disc meet, but that's kind of normal with this plow. But it's I think it's doing a good job. I don't know, maybe I still will have to come with a field cultivator here to smooth this up. My goal is hoping that I can do all this with just this one plow, because I'd like to be done with this plowing so I can get on the grain drill and get some wheat sowed soon. So I'm gonna try to just do everything with the disc here and plant into this at some point. When? I don't know yet, but it looks pretty good to me at the moment. So I'm thinking it might be sufficient. It's plowed really good. It's got good moisture, but it's not muddy. I'm just sticking a little bit on that outside tire, which is normal because it's going in fresh. It just does that. So anyways, I'll be here for a minute. First field's done. No issues, just go slow, going 16 feet at a time. Be great to have another disc, or a bigger disc, but I don't do this often, so it's not that big a deal. Alright, I gotta go open this gate. Hopefully I can fit through it all without doing too much moving. and don't let any cows out. About out of daylight. I haven't talked to Daryl about the grubbing. It looks like it's going slow. So I don't know what's going to be the verdict on that, but I'm going to try going a ring deeper on this because it's the other stuff plowed really good. This is plowing still good, but there's a lot more material, so I'm thinking maybe I'll just go one ring deeper. And that just stops the cylinder a little bit, just that much difference. And so little changes make a big difference on this disc, especially since we upgraded to bigger discs than what were on there. I've not plowed, I think the most I've ever plowed is 3 deep. I don't know, we're gonna try this and see. It's doing fine, but it's gonna leave more of these clumps because it's got grass and stuff in it. So we'll see what that does. He's gonna probably ready to be done. I will be too, but I'll maybe make another round or so and see what happens. Well, it's I don't know if I can tell. I don't know, you won't be able to tell either, but it looks fine. It's pulling good at that depth, but we're gonna stop when I get to the end anyways, and I'll check it again in the morning or when I come plow here next, because it's kind of hard to see, but I think that's depth setting is probably gonna be good. Here's what we're gonna run into though, is so like this strip, like right there, there's a height difference because there's trees and such in there, but then it jogs over and then there's a wider section. So I don't know, I'm just gonna, it's not as much plowing as it looks because there's a lot in the area that I won't be able to get to until it's all grubbed out, and even then I'm a little nervous about if there's any sharp roots and things still sticking up. So we'll see. I'll ask Daryl what he got into. Daryl's Emily's dad, if I didn't tell you. Anyways, so I'll finish this, I guess, tomorrow. I'm not really sure. I gotta go to Abilene at some point to get all my hydraulic stuff situated. I need to spray and spray and spray. So I'm not really sure the order of events. Maybe it's to get over here early and get this plowing done, so then I'm free to go to Abilene when they call, or just go spray. I don't know, but that's all on the radar. So keep watching, follow along. I appreciate it. Harvest is very, very, very close, and looking forward to it. Hoping for a good yield. I really don't know. It looks pretty white, and there's a decent amount of bowls. They're just smaller, so we'll find out. But thanks for watching and follow along. You'll find out with me. If you're gonna farm it.